know, oftentimes throughout my life, man, I think about how bad the ancestors had it, right? What they had to go through and what they made it through, right? Especially during slavery, man. Just to name a few, they had all their land and rights stolen. You know what I'm saying? Kidnapped, villainized, raped, right? We gonna say it like that, right? Forced to cook all the foods and then only given scraps, you know, or had all of their ideas stolen, right? Right. So we think about that, right? And then a lot of us say to ourselves, most of us say to ourselves, I couldn't have made it back then. I couldn't have did it, right? So just think about when we become the ancestors, right? What they gonna say about us 100, 150 years from now? Just think about it for a second. Can you imagine? They gonna look at us like we was the ones struggling in the trenches. They gonna be living in a time where the air gonna be clean. They gonna have access to unfiltered knowledge, right? And they ain't gonna have to have jobs to support themselves. They gonna have real foods, right? No poison in the water, right? No debt slavery, right? None of this bullshit that we dealing with right now. They're gonna be already born into alignment and higher consciousness, right? It ain't gonna be none of them distractions around to keep them in survival mode. And when they look back and study us, they're gonna say stuff like, damn, they had to deal with police brutality? And what the fuck? They had to pay to live on the planet that they was born on? And man, they had to fight to love themselves and their own skin? Man, shit. I couldn't have did it back then. They gonna sound just like us. Watch. Man, they had to fight algorithms just to be heard, right? The food was basically poison, right? The air was polluted, right? And what? Water was sold in bottles. Man, ain't no way they was watched, targeted, and manipulated by the media, but still managed to love, still managed to laugh, still managed to find themselves. Can you see it now? Huh? Right? Because to them, we going to be the ones that walk through hell with no shoes and no map and still manage to find heaven. Right? We going to be legends, bruh. And just how we look back and wonder how our ancestors made it through the chains and the whips, they going to look back and wonder how we made it through the mind games and the matrix. And the answer to that is going to be plain to see. Obvious even, right? Us and our ancestors survived in the same way. Spirit, will, and the refusal to fold.